Let's get to know the ladies up here a little bit. We're gonna start that side. I want to know if you could have any superpower, what superpower would it be and why?
I think the ability to read minds, because then I'll know the gap to fill, what the questions are that people have.
I would have teleportation because then I don't have to, Uber everywhere or drive everywhere or take a plane. I could just be there.
Okay, Melissa?
Seems like the ladies are stealing all my answers. I would choose to be invisible because then I can be in places where I'm not supposed to be and steal secrets.
I think I need more than 24 hours in a day. I don't know if anyone's going through the same issues.
Okay, cool. So let's get into the serious business. So our theme for today is marketing mastery. But last time our theme was branding. Pretty similar, but there is still a big difference. So my first question is for Tristan. As someone who has such an honest and authentic brand, how can women entrepreneurs build strong, authentic brands that stand out in crowded markets?
Okay, so I started my brands by pure fluke. I didn't go into content creation and say, I want to be an influencer. But I filled a gap in the market because I had cystic acne all over my face. My face was like 3 times the size. And I was real and relatable on a platform where you don't get that. At the time, TikTok had just transitioned from Musical.ly. So that was a gap that people weren't speaking about the insecurities. People weren't showing acne. People weren't showing RA10 journeys. They weren't doing those things because you had to portray yourself as perfect online. But my relatability was the stepping stone of where I started branding myself, and that has always been the foundation of my brands, to be relatable, to be raw, to be authentic, to be open and honest about everything that I'm going through. So be real, be yourself. Don't box yourself in because you feel like, oh, I have to look a certain way, dress a certain way, my house has to be a certain way for me to have clean aesthetic branding. Be you, because that is going to push you further. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And our next question is for Miss Melissa. What advice would you give to someone who wants to become a thought leader in the industry in terms of marketing?
Alright. Hi again. It all starts with having systems and a structure. If you want to be a thought leader in your industry, you first need to know about the industry, know it in depth, master it. Therefore, you can be able to move forward and drive forward whatever it is that you're trying to market, in short. Thank you.
I just want to mention, if in case you guys are wondering if I just sat down and I wrote a bunch of questions, I did not. These questions all come from you guys, so all these questions were written by you guys when you registered. Okay, Miss Chef Sue, what is the first step in effectively marketing a product or service, and how do you ensure it resonates with your target markets?
Let me give you an example. So how we do it in our business, in the food industry, is we make a big hype about a product. It's going to be on the shelves for a very short time. I recently introduced a vegan butter chicken. Now, if you know the vegan scene, vegan butter chicken is almost an impossible dish to make. This is something that people are missing, and they crave and they want. So it was for a limited time. We got people to come through, enjoy it, gave a limited amount of access to the product initially. People loved it, got some influencers to come through on board, taste it, authentically approve it, and then it lands up on the menu.
What is
what is in vegan butter chicken? Because I'm hearing chicken and where's the vegan?
It took me about 3 months to create. This is like basic, impossible. So we make a plant-based chicken, and then the sauce, it can't have any dairy or butter in it. So you're gonna balance this out to perfection, but it's such a delicious dish. People travel from all over to come and taste this. It's pure decadence, deliciousness, flavor, all the goods. Sorry if I'm making you hungry.
Okay, and I heard you say something about influencers. I want to direct that question to Ms. Shomisani. I've seen you work with a lot of influencers. How can we, especially if you're starting out your brand and you don't have a lot of resources, how can we work with influencers with our brands?
Well, I would say do trade exchanges, you know. So if you don't have a big budget to be spending with influencers, you can give them product in exchange for their services and really be able to also pay them for their time, but with obviously your products. And also it's a win-win, you know, it's a quid pro quo. You show how much you appreciate their skills and they also then influence for your brand accordingly.
Thank you. And then I want to flip the question to the influencers, Tristan and Melissa, because she said trade exchange, and I don't know how you guys feel about that. How do you guys, from an influencer's perspective, work with brands in terms of trade exchange, and how do you market yourself in that exchange? Because obviously in that exchange, you as a brand must also benefit. So how do you do that? Second, I'll go first.
It is a bit of a tricky situation to manage. However, I think what's important is your purpose. Why are you an influencer? So if you're trying to build a relationship with a brand, for instance, I can give you an example. I love Fenty foundations, right? What I did is that, just because I buy this product, I'm going to then use it. And then the first collaboration I had was a trade exchange. So because it's something that aligns with something that is already my purpose, then it works either way. I'll leave the rest to you.
Okay. I think that's actually a brilliant way to balance trade exchange and also allow it to benefit you. So what I do is I mainly do trade exchanges for small businesses that I know cannot afford to pay my normal rates. When it comes to corporate companies though, I know you have the budget. So I won't downplay myself because I know I have the skill. So you're going to pay me for what I'm worth because of the skill I've accumulated over the past 5 years. But when it comes to a small business, especially, so I'm Christian and Christian businesses are heavy on my heart. I do a lot of trade exchanges with small Christian businesses and I give them the marketing because I know that they stand for what I stand for. So I was saying this to one of the ladies earlier, there's room for everyone to grow. You just need to know what you're worth so that you can grow.